Action.
Action,
Okay,
sorry.
we got action. Hi, I'm Jerry. This is my friend Jared. We're here today. We're going to be replacing this is Zalman Reserator 3 Max cooler with the Corsair H105 cooler. First, I want to tell you about the tools we're going to need to do this. One is we always need the little handy flashlight. Woo! You like that, Jared?
That's very good.
All right. And of course, we're going to need magnetic screwdriver, small one, big one. In addition to that, what else do we got here? Credit card. I'll explain that in a minute. Some zip ties, make sure everything's nice and neat in the case. This right here is something that is not required, but I recommend. This is MX2 ceramic thermal paste. We're going to use that instead of the stock thermal paste that comes with the computer for better cooling results. Oh, and also, I'm not going to use the fans that came with the H105. I'm going to use these SP120s, which are the same fans except for they got a nice coloring on it, makes the case look better. So here we go. All right, first thing we're going to do is we're going to remove the old cooler. So it's easier to do, a lot easier to do with two people. So what I'm going to do is get him to hold. We're going to take out the fan. Actually, what we're going to do, we're going to take out the fan first. I've done it both ways, taking out the fan versus taking out the heat, the CPU cooler first. But this actually works a little bit better. So basically, I'm going to just unscrew everything here. Taking the back plate off the backside of the motherboard. Notice the double-sided tape, we'll have to scrape that off. Alright, Jared, next what we're going to do is we're going to remove the parts that are going to be in our way.
Okay.
So this is has two video cards and they have an SLI bridge. So we take that off first. Unplug them. Next, we'll take out the RAM. Next, we're going to clean off the CPU, the top of the heat shield. So we get a lint-free cloth. I'm just going to wipe off the thermal grease here, and then we're going to go over it with rubbing alcohol and get it good and clean. Or actually, this isn't rubbing alcohol. This is like 90% alcohol. The higher the better. Don't use water, nail polish remover, or anything like that. Alright, my old Reserator 3 Max fit right here, right over the side of the case. The new one, the H105, is going to go up here up top. So you want to make sure you've got plenty of room to fit it in, which this case has plenty of room. So we've removed the old one. We're going to, this fan that came with the computer, we're going to take that off now. Jared, what do you do for a living?
I'm an electrical engineer.
He's an electrical engineer, so I put him in charge of the instructions. You got to tell me if you think these instructions are any good or not.
Okay.
All right, what do I got to do first?
First, you need to replace the colored accent ring if you would like to change it out.
When you're in your job, do y'all have colored accent rings on your high-tech, big, huge, giant piece of equipment you work on, switchgear?
Normally, we don't have accent color.
All right. Well, you might want to suggest that. All right. So you got this color accent ring on here. So I did a little research, a little reading, a little look on the internet. Apparently, people scratch their. You're supposed to do it just like they got in the diagram here. Apparently, they scratch these things all up. So I'm just going to use a little cloth here, get under here, so as to not scratch it. See, that's what they do. This is what everybody's been complaining about on these accent rings. Okay. Jared, I'm a bit stumped. I need something thinner, I think. I got a thinner screwdriver. Let's grab that. Card. Not working either. Alright. Did you get that on video?
Mm-hmm.
I actually got it. Color accent ring's coming off. Voila, just like they do in the big time engineering firms. And we're going to put the colored one on. We're going with red. And it just pops on there. Some nice color accenting. Alright. The next instructions installing the back plate, which we are not going to do, because first we're going to take off the thermal compound, the thermal grease that comes with it. We're going to put on some of the good stuff. I don't know if this is any good or not, but we're not going to use it. So we're going to clean this off good. A lint-free cloth. You want to clean it out real good because you got to get it out of all. It gets in these little micro grooves. So you really got to kind of get in there real good. It's all out. Got all these micro grooves for heat dissipation.
Gotta love the micro grooves.
Micro grooves. All right. Da-da. All right. Next, what are we going to do, Jared?
Next, we're going to install the back plate.
The back plate. All right. Right here. All right. I've got an Intel 4790K processor, which is the 1150. Let's see, 1150 series motherboard. So I need the little standoff square in the middle.
That's figure
Yep.
1.
1150. Yep, right in the middle.
Toward the. I think you want them toward the inside, maybe.
No, I think it's in the middle.
Is that what it's showing?
Yeah.
Like it's,
Yeah, it's kind of middle. Well, you know what? They're only going to fit in one way. So now, this is a lot easier to do on a computer that's or on a motherboard that's never been used, because you don't have all these wires and stuff in the way. I think it's kind of a trial and error thing. I'm thinking.
You push them all forward to the inside. Try that.
To the inside.
Does
Okay,
it
hold
go
on.
in anymore?
Well, it looks like there's just a little bit of room there in between, like that. Going by the diagram. That looks close.
Yeah, looking back here, slide the back plate pins inside. I think you want them all the way inside
Like
for
that?
the 150 for the 1150 series.
All right, all the way to the inside for the 1150 series. That's why you make the big bucks.
There we go.
There you go. Now, here's a trick. Now we got to flip this thing down. Oops. Like this. And install a little... Which ones?
Standoff screws.
Yep, the standoff screws. Which ones do we use?
Supposed to use the ones that are...
That's not them.
They're the ones that are evenly spaced for the LGA 1150 or 1366 series.
So we've got the right standoff screws here. And you just hand screw these things in.
Tighten all 4 screws until firmly secure.
Alright, they are firmly secure.
Next we'll install the fans and radiator.
Alright, next we're going to install the fans in the radiator. This is not in the instructions, so this is something we're going to do. In order to get the Arctic MX2 thermal compound into the little grooves, what we're going to do is we're going to put a little dab on here like this. Not very much. And then we're going to work it in using a credit card going different directions. And the idea is to get it in all the grooves really good. You want a thin layer. You want it in the grooves. And this will prevent like air pockets and stuff from forming, which will affect your thermal cooling. This is what's the way it's recommended by Arctic, which makes this thermal compound.
Alright Jerry, so next we're going to install the fans and radiator. So we're going to begin by using the long screws and the washers to install the fans on the radiator, and then we'll attach the radiator to the case.
Now the instructions say to do it, the radiator first and then the fans, right?
The instructions kind of leave it
Up to us. And you are an electrical engineer, right?
That's right.
So I have your permission to deviate?
You sure do.
All right. Do I have your permission to use these fancy fans instead of the ones that came with it?
Oh, definitely.
All right. Let's do that then. These are the SP120 aftermarket. You see a lot of people use these with this same kit because they look cool. Notice the little red things. These are interchangeable. They have red, blue, and white, I believe. So we stick these on, I guess one at a time. Notice also on this I put the plastic back on there so it doesn't make a mess after I put the thermal compound on. So we're just going to screw these in into the little radiator holes. That's the plan here. With these rubber fan holders, you're supposed to be careful not to screw them in too tight, just snug. This is definitely a two-person job here, getting the radiator in. Our engineer Jared has confirmed that we do not need to use the washers because it's not getting in deep enough. So we're going with just the screws and no washers. Is this structurally sound? You're not a civil engineer. I'm not sure where you're qualified to make this decision. Okay. Okay, now we got head
Going to be
compressor.
on the pump unit.
All right. Now here's how we're going to put on the MX2 thermal compound. Right on the top of the CPU, we're going to just put a little thin line from one side down to the other. So, and then we're going to put this right on top. Now we'll connect power to the fans and pump. And you can just film me doing this, it'll just take a second. Let's see, this has got a splitter. We're going to run everything back behind the case anyways. The pump fan is going to go directly into the power supply and not into the motherboard. You can put into the motherboard. This way I know it's always getting adequate power. I connect the fans to the Y connector, so they're both going to the motherboard together. And then I'll hook it back into the motherboard. And the fans will be connected. And we're going to put the RAM and the video cards back in, and we're done. Ta-da! Now let's see if it works. Fans are spinning. The light's on the water pump. We got the good one beep. Lights are coming on. Oh, monitor wasn't plugged in. Ta-da! And it works. Yay, victory! Get Jared.
Yay! It works.
Well, Jared, what'd you think? First time installing a water cooler on a CPU, closed loop water cooler. What'd you think?
It was pretty good.
Yeah?
Instructions were not bad.
Not bad?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're going to test it to see how well it does compared to the old one. So I'll give you those results at the end of the video. But did you enjoy that?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. And apparently our wives are mad at us because you were supposed to leave an hour ago.
That's all right.
Yeah. Is that all right?
They'll be okay.
They'll be okay. Will they get over it?
They will.
Okay. Well, that's good. All right. Well, we'll see how the results come out as far as how well it worked. There you go.